in the car, heading to the radio station, and I just wanted to say a couple things. I'm going to talk about all this in more detail and take your calls on the next stream in just over an hour. But first, it just in reverse. When President Trump came out last night with his wound, surrounded by the real Secret Service, not those amateurs that were with him on Saturday. I mean, it brought a tear to my eyes. I was crying again. This guy, President Trump, he's made me cry more than any other man. I'll tell you that ever has. Um, I've been crying for him all weekend since Saturday, and I'd like to know if you all have too. But I could tell when he came out on that stage, when he was walking out, he's a changed man, and that's a good thing. I mean, he is changed in that. I do think he's closer with God, but he was holding back tears. I think President Trump wanted to break down in tears last night. Don Jr. looked the same, and it just I was laying in bed watching with my wife, and I was just bawling, just like I was on Saturday, and it was just amazing. I flipped over to the Coven over there on MSNBC with Joy Reid, Rachel Maddow, and the other jerks for just about 30 seconds, and they're on another planet. They have not dialed down their hatred of this great man, President Trump, who's put his life on the line for this country. It's absolutely amazing. You know, most guys are born into great wealth like him, and they're retired their whole life. He doesn't have to go through this. It was just absolutely just a beautiful thing. It's fair. I'm a little teary eyed now, even thinking about it, and it's just amazing, just amazing. And it was nice to see him surrounded by the real Secret Service too. And I've been wearing this MAGA hat all week. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. This is a very old and worn, sun-damaged MAGA hat. But this MAGA hat, um, I've met Trump several times, and this has been in his presence about, I don't know, 10 to 12 times. He's seen this hat as close as I am to the camera right here, 10, 12 times. And this one is special to me because I feel like him having seen it with his own eyes so many times, it's got a little bit of his aura on it. So I've been wearing this one since Saturday because of that. But it was just so powerful last night. I'm also going to talk about JD Vance. I watched the movie about JD Vance last night. It's on Netflix, Hillbilly Elegy. It was directed by the great Ron Howard. Glenn Close plays his grandmother, and Amy Adams plays his mother. And I haven't paid too much attention to JD Vance, but when he was announced yesterday as President Trump's running mate, I started reading about him, and then I looked to see on Apple TV for the movie. I saw it was on Netflix, and I watched it, and it's a tough movie to watch. I mean, you know, the JD Vance story, Hillbilly Elegy. I think I'm going to get the book on tape. I don't know. Maybe I'll actually pick up the physical book today on my way home. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know, but that movie is such a powerful movie. JD Vance is the perfect pick. You know, I'm going to talk about this in some more detail, and hopefully some of you have seen the movie or read the book. But I was talking about this to my wife last night. They say Hillbilly Elegy, hillbilly, and you know, I think they used hillbilly. He was inspired to write the book. One of his professors an Asian woman who wrote a story about her background and published a best-selling book, told him he should write one about himself. And I think this thing with hillbilly in the title is just to make it more, I don't know, interesting or something. But this is a term that I can use because I'm white. Okay, so if you're not white, you can't use this term. It's kind of like the N word for white people. It's not hillbilly. It's just he comes not from a hillbilly background. That's kind of a romantic way to say it. It's really white trash. He comes from an impoverished white trash background, JD Vance, that is just amazing that he is where he is today. It really is. Um, yeah, no, there's no doubt about it. And to come to where he is today, from where he came from, is the American dream. And the left think that all white people are born rich and that we have trust funds. I wish that was true. I wish all white people were born rich with trust funds. But do you think I'd be live streaming on YouTube at 4:54 a.m. while I'm on my way to work, and and everything else if we were all born with trust funds? I don't think so. And for him to start out in life as poor white trash, and he'll probably be the second MAGA president, is amazing. And I've become, since yesterday, just a humongous fan of JD Vance. Just reading watching his movie and reading a little bit about him. The movie is a really emotional movie, and I'm a little nervous about reading the book. So I'm not sure if I'm going to buy the physical book or get it on audiobook. Hillbilly Elegy. I'm in the car driving to and from work and driving around doing things so often. Maybe I'll get the audiobook. But last night, watching Trump walk out there on stage, Ronnie Jackson dressed his wound yesterday at the convention. Isn't that something? Congressman Ronnie Jackson, Dr. Ronnie Jackson, Admiral Ronnie Jackson. And it was beautiful. And it was nice to see that he had the real Secret Service with him too, wasn't it? It was really nice to see that. Now, if you're new to my channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe, and everyone who's already subbed, please like the video. And I'm going to be taking calls about President Trump last night and JD Vance. And, the thing about JD Vance, because I know a lot of people are going to harp on, how he said terrible things about Trump in the past. He apologized for doing it and admitted that he was wrong. And I take him at his word. And certainly President Trump does, because President Trump has made him the political apprentice. So I'm with JD Vance. You guys with JD Vance? I think it was a perfect pick. And he'll be the first president, certainly in the modern time, JD Vance, because he's the favorite to be the nominee in 4 years, the second MAGA president. It's one of the reasons President Trump picked him. But I don't think we've had a president come from as low as he came to where he could be in 2028, JD Vance. He is the all-American story. And I know his book was a bestseller, but a book doesn't have to sell that many copies to be a bestseller. I hope that people watch the movie on Netflix. I'm going to promote the movie a lot because I think people are more likely to watch the movie. And, anything with Glenn Close that's directed by Ron Howard is always going to be good. It was a powerful, powerful movie. And I'd like to get into more details about him and his upbringing and how he got into college and all of that. I was just blown away by Hillbilly Elegy. Now, again, I've just watched the movie on Netflix. I've not read the book yet. But J.D. Vance is the all-American story. It doesn't get bigger or better than that. All right, guys, listen, I got to run. and head off to the radio station. But if you're new, subscribe. The next stream is already set up and ready to go with, thank you, American Patriot. Welcome to the channel. My next stream, which will be in an hour, is already up there, ready to go. The chat room's there, so you can hop over there. And I'll be in the radio studio when I go live in an hour, taking calls live on the radio with you guys watching on YouTube and the radio listeners. So I'll see you then. All right, my name is Brian. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you in about an hour.